Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name is Pete Matthew and I'm a chartered financial planner based here in the UK. And I've had a whole bunch of calls recently from people who have decided to get started with investing and just didn't know what to do. So in this video, I want to give you the easiest way to build wealth effectively that essentially takes zero effort, zero management, and you don't even have to think about it until you're a few years away from retirement. Sound good? Okay, if you're going to build wealth, you need to have the foundations right. And this means just a few simple things. You need an emergency fund of 2 to 3 months worth of your regular monthly outgoings in a bank account that you don't touch. That's there to prevent you going into debt if something untoward happens, like you get a big unexpected bill, or even if you lose your job and it takes you a few weeks to find another. You need to be clear of bad debt. That's store cards, credit cards, personal loans, and overdrafts. There is just no point paying interest on debt like that and investing at the same time. It's like trying to run with a bungee rope tied behind you. You need to have a budget where you are consistently spending less than you earn every month. If you're not doing that, you're just going backwards and you're getting deeper and deeper into debt each month or each week, or until you get bailed out, or maybe you get a bonus annually from work, you clear your debt, and the cycle begins again. You should also at least have some life insurance so that if you die early, those who are left behind don't have to clear mortgages or are left suddenly without your financial support. Obviously, that's less important if you've got no one who is financially dependent on you. So, emergency fund, no bad debt, a solid monthly budget, and some life insurance if you have people dependent on you. Those are the prerequisites for investing. That stuff is not sexy at all. Yes, it can be a pain waiting to start investing while you are grinding to get your debts paid off. But without that foundation in place, you're just building on shaky ground. So just don't do it. But with that solid foundation in place, you only need 3 accounts to build wealth successfully. Just 3 accounts to manage your money effortlessly. They are: number 1, a savings account with a bank or a building society. Number 2, a pension. And number 3, a stocks and shares ISA. So let's deal with each one of those in turn. So your savings account is there to save up for short-term expenditure. Things like Christmas, annual holiday, maybe a new TV. This is money that you're going to need to spend within the next 2 or 3 years, tops. That is too short a time to put money at risk by investing it. So don't do it. Yes, the interest rate is going to be rubbish, but you know that the money is going to be there when the time comes to spend it on whatever you plan. So this is not the same as your emergency fund. That's for emergencies only. The clue's in the name, right? This is your savings pot, where you use some of your monthly budget to put aside money for irregular expenses, stuff that you don't pay every month. Make sure the account is accessible, get the best interest rate you can, but don't sweat it too much. It's a holding pot, not a growing pot for your money. Next up is a pension, and this is simply a long-term savings pot with some really good tax advantages attached. So if you're employed, your employer will have a workplace pension and you'll probably be automatically enrolled into it. You can opt out, but that would be a terrible mistake. You see, you have to put 4% of your salary in. But if you do that, the government puts in 1% and your employer puts in 3%, making 8% in total. So you put in 4%, but 8% goes in. There is literally nowhere else where you can get a guaranteed doubling of your money overnight. So what's the downside? Well, you can't access your pension until your late 50s. That's no big deal, it's just something to be aware of. And the benefits of having the free money outweigh the lack of access. And besides, the late 50s version of you will be really glad that you did lock that money up, believe me. Pensions grow completely tax-free as well, which is cool. You do pay some tax at the other end when you retire, but you just don't need to deal with that now. I've got other videos on that if you're interested. I'll link to one up here and in the description. Ask your employer how much you can pay in and have them match your payment. Usually there will be a maximum that they will match. And if you can afford to, pay that amount in, because to do anything else is just to leave free money on the table from your employer. Now, if you're not employed, maybe you're self-employed, you're going to need to set up your own pension. So do that right now and start putting 5% of your income in straight away. Yes, that might hurt at first, but if we've got that tight budget that we talked about earlier on, where you're already spending less than you earn, you should be able to manage that okay. Once you've started your pension and you're paying in either the maximum to get your employer match, or you're putting in 5% of your income if you're self-employed, you should open just one more account. More to come on that in just a sec, but if you're enjoying this video so far, do me a big favor and hit the like button right now. Go on, just push it. It's just down there. And hit the subscribe button while you're at it. It really helps me out, and you will know when we put a new video out. So thank you so much for that. So the third and final account you need is a stocks and shares ISA, or an individual savings account. We'll talk about what the stocks and shares bit means in just a sec, don't worry. An ISA is an account that you can pay up to £20,000 per year into, and it's completely tax-free. Usually you can access it easily as well if you absolutely need to. But like all investments, you should ideally let it run for the long term. So anything you have left in your budget, you should pay into the ISA, particularly when you're getting started. I want you to build up some money which is accessible this side of your late 50s. So try and get your ISA up to a good figure. Set yourself a target maybe. It might be £10,000, £25,000 or £50,000. Once you hit that, start to pay more into your pension than your ISA, but keep them both going. One little added confusion here, there's a special kind of ISA, which is called a lifetime ISA, and that can only be opened by people under age 40. You get free money from the government for paying in, so it's a bit like a pension. And if you take out and use that money to either buy your first home or after age 60, then there's no penalty for withdrawing. But if you take the money out for any other reason, you will pay a hefty penalty of 25%. So that's it. A savings account, a pension, and an ISA, and maybe a lifetime ISA as well. Really, it's just 3 accounts that you need. Pay in regularly, try to increase what you pay in at least once a year, and you are guaranteed to be in decent financial shape 20, 30, 40 years into the future. But one more thing you need to know. What should go inside your pension and your ISA? Well, inside each of those will be one or more investment funds. And these are a really useful and easy way to spread your money around the world and across different kinds of things, which should make you money over time. And this is the bit that many people find most difficult because it can quickly become confusing, as there's often many choices available. So I'm going to do a video shortly, and I'll give you some easy, moderate, and more complex options depending on where you're at, how interested you are. But for now, if you watch this video up here about investing made simple, that'll really help. Investing just doesn't have to be complicated. It can be if you want to, but it doesn't have to be, and you don't actually have to do very much. Once you've found a fund which suits you, you can just tell your pension and your ISA company to invest in that fund for the rest of your life, and you'll probably do just fine. So stay tuned for more on that. There's more videos to come. And leave a comment under the video here if you've got any questions. But 3 accounts, folks, that's all you need. One fund inside your pension and ISA, that'll do just fine. Anything else you can deal with if you need to, but most people, that will be fine. I still just have one pension and one ISA. So does my wife, so too do the majority of my clients. It just works, it's simple and easy to maintain. Okay folks, hope that was helpful. There's plenty more to come, but if it was, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.